Hello everyone and welcome along to Racing Weekly, a podcast and YouTube show brought to you by oddschecker in association with Bet365. Steve Ryder and Rachel Casey alongside me this morning, looking ahead to Goodwood, looking back on what we've seen Ascot from last weekend. Rachel, welcome to the show, your first appearance on Racing Weekly, but our paths have all crossed at one time or another.
A few times.
And in particular, not just in the world of horse racing, but in the world of snooker for you as well. You keep yourself very busy during the year. How much of a part does racing play, though, in your overall commitments?
Overall, I mean, I'm on this perfect loop. I'm a little bit quieter in the summer, but then I get to do lots of racing. And obviously then, when it comes to the winter, I'm stuck indoors in the dark. Snooker world. I love it though. I absolutely love it. I am so lucky to cover both of my favourite sports in horse racing and snooker. Like yourself. I mean, you obviously throw a few more in there along the way. I'm
the cheapest option available quite often. Tell me a little bit about your love of racing. Where did that come from? How did you get into presenting?
So I have always gone racing. I grew up in Roscommon. Steve's looking at me, Roscommon. Have you ever been there, Steve?
I haven't, no.
No, you should go. It's one of the best tracks, best towns in Ireland.
Okay.
None of you are looking convinced.
I'm putting that on the list. Well, Martin Dwyer told me last weekend Killarney's the best. So
I love that. He's got so much partridge about him, hasn't he, Martin?
Oh, yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it? People say to me, oh, I know Roscommon, I've driven through. I thought, well, that's not very kind. But great town to grow up in, west of Ireland. Actually, a stone's throw from Roscommon Racecourse. We always went there as children. And yeah, I love all sports though. Yeah. I played a lot of sport when I was younger. Was never going to be a jockey or anything. You probably guessed.
Playing a lot of golf, are you at the moment?
Yeah, playing a little bit of golf. Yeah, not great golf, but
well handicapped.
A bit of a bandit, I've been told, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, no, sport's always been a massive part of my life, and it's great to blend both things, doing your job and enjoying what you love. I mean, you're getting paid to watch it, Rishi. You should know all about it.
No, I'd rather hear it from other people. People get bored of me saying exactly that, but you're absolutely right. Being able to get paid for a hobby, which is what we're doing. Steve, now you're on the Racing TV roster as well. You got some dates coming up this week?
Yeah. Epsom Thursday night, Newmarket Friday night. I get to see Tom Jones. We're talking about that. You get to watch, getting paid to watch sport and then see Tom Jones afterwards.
Will you get to see Tom Jones?
I might stay for 10 minutes of it afterwards. Wow. I covered Ministry of Sound night at Newmarket and Nick Lightfoot and I whisked straight off before that. But I might hang around for Tom Jones.
Yeah, it's good that we have the chance though to, see these great acts. And the summer racing schedule has been brilliant, I think. I think all over social media you'll see Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are, and young people going racing. And yes, it's music nights, but listen, if half of them come out wanting to go racing again, I mean, we're running off when the main act comes on, like Tom Jones, but because we love our horses. Yeah. I think it's great what they've done all summer. I think it's really on the up, actually.
Anything to help, which is what the sport needs at the moment. And have you made your cricketing return, by the way?
I still haven't made the team yet, but they did lose yesterday, so I might now get back in. So I'll be back in.
Good news. A brief word about the summer of sport that we're having in terms of racing, Rach. We're seeing some quality horses built. How much are you enjoying the flat season?
I'm loving it, really loving it. And also, I feel like I never say the summer is going slow. But I am this season because I think that there's still so much to look forward to. Yeah. I think, gosh, we've not even had Goodwood, we've not had Galway. Obviously, that's all coming this weekend. Yeah. We've got York still to come. I think every week you're just getting excited. And yeah, I'm loving it.
Genuinely, this week, very excited about what's coming up at Goodwood. So let's stop the chitter-chatter and let's have a look back, first of all, what we've seen at Ascot, etc. And then after that, we'll have a look ahead to what's coming up on the Downs at Sussex. But for now, it's time for Racing Recap. And we start with the King George, obviously, from Ascot. Calandagan seemingly getting everything his way for once, and a perfect ride from Mikel Barcelona. Is that how you saw the King George?
I thought it was a brilliant ride, actually. I mean, you can get trapped. You can we'll talk about the tactics in a little bit, I'm sure, with Aidan O'Brien. I hope that this King George isn't remembered for what Aidan O'Brien did and the tactics and Ryan Moore and continuous, because Calandagan, I think I'll look back on it as a race where He's not a rogue. He's actually a really good racehorse. I thought he was brilliant. I just thought that burst of speed. I thought Mikel Barcelona, in his interview before the race, he said, well, you know, if he breaks well, we'll kick on. He didn't. Yeah. And as a result of that, he's been able to show that electric turn of foot. And I love horses like this. We just don't know. Are they like thinkers or are they monkeys? But very, very talented. I thought he was brilliant.
Well, it's fair to say he's the best mile-and-a-half horse, certainly in Europe. Probably in North America. Not sure about whether Japan might have something better than him or not, but he's pretty good.
Also over 10 furlongs as well. Like looking back, there was those string of seconds and the flash of the tail at Epsom behind Jan Bruegel, and you thought, ooh, I'm not so sure around you. But yeah, there was a sense of inevitability when he was chasing down Kalpana that he would go past, and I thought it was a good performance. We touched on the tactics. I just thought it was a bit bizarre. You've got 2 ledger winners and you crawl in front. I can kind of see what they're trying to do, stack them up and go, but Jan Bruegel isn't a horse that's going to give you loads from the front end. They put cheek pieces on for a reason. If you look at it, finishing speed percentage of 108%, and even Continuous had a finishing speed percentage of 101%, which says it all really around this race. Aidan O'Brien now hasn't won the race since Highland Real in 2016, and I thought it was another race where you looked back at the tactics. I watched last year's renewal where you had Auguste Rodin and Luxembourg. That didn't go to plan. Obviously, you had the Prince of Wales Stakes at Royal Ascot with Los Angeles as well, where it didn't go to plan. But we'll see going forward. I thought it brought back the question mark and the debate around running geldings in the Arc, because Kalpana is now halved in price, is now around 7-1 for the Arc, and obviously Calandagan won't be there. But if Kalpana goes on and wins the Arc, it's going to raise that question mark again, isn't it?
Well, I think it raises the question anyway. I mean, get your thoughts on tactics, first of all, and what Aidan O'Brien decided to deploy, but then also your thoughts on geldings in the Arc. Or
I thought it was interesting. Graphite said, you know, I'd like a very good gelding rather than a bad colt. I don't think he cares too much at this stage. Obviously, it'd be great to see him in the Arc. I don't know. I think like we're going to be missing out on some real star performers. But then that is, you know, you've got races, you've got history, you've got tradition. Yeah. I'm not all that keen on changing things. I might sound like a bit of a stick in the mud, but I just think races like the Arc, we have these conversations, oh, he's a gelding, he can't run, or can he run, or, you know, all that. I think that, no, the Arc is the Arc. I love the Arc. I think it's one of the best races in the calendar. You think gelding should run in the Arc?
100%, yeah. No, but the Arc has stood the test of time. It doesn't need me to come in and go, oh, it should have geldings. But I think the principle of having the best horses, regardless of whether they're geldings or not, running the race, it's the best race of the year in Europe, the Arc. So how could you exclude a horse who deserves to be favourite for the race right now? If you did the market with all the horses who are competing over a mile and a half, he would be favourite, Calandagan, for the Arc, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're trying to make it, and the argument for not having geldings running it is that it's a stallion-making race, I think you become a stallion because you beat the best horses around, if they're geldings or they're colts.
That's my point.
Aren't these decisions, though, when trainers and owners decide to geld horses, it's almost like the risk, isn't it? Yeah. And, you know, if you think, well, we'll, you know, even if he's a gelding, we'll still get in the Arc, it doesn't matter, or, you know, we'll still get in whatever race. Yeah. There is that kind of like risk of doing that. I don't know. I think it would be lovely if all the best horses could run in the Arc. So I feel like you're kind of changing my mind here.
But there was an argument. I heard an argument. Yes, I think Dave Yates might have been saying that, you know, if you geld a horse, it means that it gives them an advantage because they've got an issue that they've. But of course, you know, if a horse is wearing cheek pieces or wearing blinkers, they've got an aid to help them.
So they shouldn't be allowed in the Arc either.
Well, I don't. It's the same. Well, if you stretch it, I think that's the same principle. If a horse is having to use an aid to better themselves, you know, with those accoutrements, then surely they're not raw, outstanding horses without any need for any extra help. So I find it.
So are you saying Calandagan gets the help because he's been gelded?
Well, that was the argument.
Okay,
that was
so
before.
then should he? Is it?
Should he be running in any Group 1?
Should he? Yeah.
Should be running at all.
Should geldings be running in the Arc then? If they're getting an extra aid from being gelded?
Well, yes, they should, because a horse with blinkers can run in the Arc, and a horse with cheek pieces can run in the Arc. I think gelding should run in the Arc.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to get the best horse in the best race, fine. But I guess all of these things are factors that have been forever there.
What did you think of the tactics, though?
I don't know. I feel Listen, Aidan O'Brien can do whatever he likes with whatever horse. I mean, he's got so many great horses. It always kind of breaks my heart when I see like a horse like Continuous, like a classic winner, you know, doing all the donkey work and being restrained the way he was.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard Aidan O'Brien before the race. He's like, listen, when the gates open, the lads will make up their mind, the two of them. I'm like, I'd love to hear the conversation before the race and after the race. I would just love to be a fly on the wall. Listen, it didn't work, did it? You could have trapped one of them, but you're not going to trap all of them. Oisin Murphy, he kind of took the bull by the horns, didn't he? With Calpan, I thought she ran really well. Had to make the move. Was it a little bit too soon? I thought she ran a brilliant race, kicked on, and the horse, Calandigan, the winner, I just thought he was exceptional. If they're to go to the Judmont, they're going to have potentially more tactics, because you're going to have, Delacroix, Camille Bassaro maybe. Yeah. So we'll have this chat again.
Field of Gold.
Yeah.
Whoever else. Ombudsman. Could be some race, that. Yeah. Royal Champion.
Yeah.
All the big ones. Gelding. We'll come back. We'll come back to that.
Let it go.
We'll come back to that in just a moment. Let's move on and talk about a few of the other races that took place at Ascot. Steve, there was some. I mean, we talk about a few of them, but there was the big handicap that Two Tribes won at a big prize, Speed Classic. It's a good day for Hugo Palmer as well. Where would you like to pick up on?
I thought Fitzella was probably one of the most impressive winners of the day. I think really well backed, and if you'd backed her, I didn't think there was a moment's worry throughout the whole race. Kind of made all cosy winner by a length at the finish. Now, her entries are over 6 furlongs and 7 furlongs going forward. I look back at the race IQ data, and like, she is rapid. She had a top speed of 49 miles an hour, according to Race IQ, which is like the fastest I think I've seen. Yeah. Shortest stride length, second fastest to 20 miles an hour in the race. And they're talking about going up in trip. I'd, if anything, go down in trip.
I think Hugo Palmer said before the race, didn't he? He said, whatever happens today, it's going to be 7 furlongs.
Yeah.
But she was so fast.
I thought
she was electric.
Yeah, I mean, there's talk of the Breeders' Cup later on in the season, and that would suit her with her gate speed and tactical speed. Yeah. That would suit her really well. It's interesting that Oisin Murphy apparently wants her to be supplemented for the Lowther, but she also holds an entry already for the Harry's $500,000, which is worth double the amount of prize money, and she's already entered in it. So we could be seeing her at York, just maybe not in the race that we want to.
They've got a bit of a head scratcher, haven't they? Hugo Palmer. What a great day for him, though, wasn't it?
Superb.
Yeah, I thought she was great. I love the way she kind of shuffled to post and then came out like an absolute rocket. Yeah, really impressive, and a great day for the yard. Up to 7 furlongs, so we got speed and stamina. And Venetian Sun, the horse that was in front of her, I mean, we're all excited to see that one come out, aren't we?
She's going to the Moyglare, Venetian Sun, next.
Is that the plan? Yeah, cool. That will be exciting. She could be anything.
Cheshire Dancer won. It's a bunch finish. I was slightly disappointed that Chantilly Lace didn't win. I thought that was a great opportunity for her. She got the lead. A couple of horses of Rafe Becker's didn't quite perform on Saturday.
I didn't think that was the strongest race. I don't think we'll be looking back to that for form lines. One that really kind of caught my eye, and probably because I backed it, was in the Moat and Chandon, the International, and that was Cody Lyon. So I made the case prior to the race on the show last week around Ascot form. 2 runs at Ascot, really good. 1 over the course and distance, second behind Get It over 6 furlongs, and travelled brilliantly into the race. Would probably prefer a drop back down to 6 or a less stiff track over the 7 furlongs, but was the only horse from a low draw to hit the frame. That was kind of the negative going into it. If you look at the draw, the winner was in 10, the runner-up in 11, third was 22, and the fourth was 12. Yeah. Cody Lyon finished 4th, was drawn 6, and the closest horse to finish from a single-figure draw was Kazaz, who finished 12th from stall 9. So I think you could really upgrade the performance of Cody Lyon. So put him in your trackers.
Cody Lyon in the tracker. Rachel, was there anything else from the Moet and Chandon or the listed race of fillies?
I think the horse that really caught my eye, well, I mean, he's a 7-year-old world champion at York. I just thought that was brilliant, and what a great job Carl Burke has done. And listen, he's like no stranger to strutting his stuff in, big races, but since he's come back from Australia, I think, and he seems like they've got their bags packed. They want to go all around the world with him. I just thought it was so cool, Clifford Lee, the way he was kind of looking over. Like, I mean, how confident can you be just to be coming there absolutely swinging? I loved that run. I thought it was the performance of the weekend, actually.
He's got loads of ability, that horse. You look through, there are performances that obviously they've been punctuated by some serious disappointment, but some of them have been outstanding. The winner at Royal Ascot, he bolted up in that listed race at Ayr, and I know it's not quite on the same par as the race because Al Makam seemed to be a horse that was going to take all the beating. But throughout his career, he has produced some eye-catching performances, Royal Champion. He's clearly got loads of ability, as we've seen. I don't think there's any fluke about his win at all in the Sky Bet York Stakes.
No, it'll be interesting to see what rating he gets tomorrow morning from there. It might well force their hand to supplement for the Jubbon's International. I don't think he'd be out of the lineup in there either.
Well, given his owner, I'd imagine he'd want to have a go.
3 from 5 since coming back from Australia and joining Carl Burke. I thought it was a brilliant performance. It raises some question marks around the 3-year-olds. I love this time of the year where you get the 3-year-olds coming in. Obviously, we had Delacroix win the Coral Eclipse, but the 2 3-year-olds in here were quite well backed, Green Impact and Stanhope Gardens, but they both disappointed in this, were beaten over 5 lengths at the finish. So you have got those kind of differing form lines from the 3-year-olds when we look ahead to Goodwood later this week.
Where do we stand on Al Makam? Is he not quite the horse that connections think he is?
Listen, he's had a great season already. Is he the next big thing? I mean, he was put in his place and beaten fair and square. I mean, he had his ground, he had his chances, no excuses. I don't know. Is he? I mean, I don't know what did they think he was going to be the great? I mean, there was a lot of. He's a beautiful looking horse.
They'd mentioned he could have run in the King George.
Yeah.
They're talking about the Juddmonte. They're talking about all the big Group 1s, the champion, the Irish champion. There was even talk of the Arc for Al Makam, but I don't see any of that at all from.
Yeah, I don't want to be too hard on a horse.
He's a good horse.
Yeah, very, very good. I actually didn't realise there was this big expectation and kind of buzz around him.
You never get involved in hype, do you?
Not generally.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he's a very, very good horse. Yeah. But he was well beaten. And yeah, what do you think?
Well, the stride data would say to give a mile and a half a chance.
Yeah.
I just thought he was kind of outgunned later on. Royal Champion just travelled all over him and done him for a term of foot. So if you're going to campaign your horse around the want of soft ground, and I think he'll get a mile and a half, and it looks an open arc, doesn't it, this year? I'd probably,
chuck him in.
Have that as an end-of-season target.
Yeah. I was working with George Baker on ex-jockey, on the weekend, and he was going on about Al Makam and what they thought of him. He said that Sheen Murphy had suggested to them that this horse might be an arc contender. But just
just because he's been beaten,
I don't want to be too harsh on him.
Yeah.
You don't look at that performance immediately. When you watch the King George taking place and you watch that race taking place, you think, okay, well, one race is throwing up contenders for the arc. This one has probably removed one, is the way you would look at it on the face of it.
But they'll have a crack, and if they don't shoot, they won't score.
I love that. That's it, yeah. That's so true. Have a go. Why not? Anything else from the last week or so? And I mean the last week because there's one horse who won on Monday of the previous week, who I'm sure we should be talking about, who's Al Marak. But I'll let you go with anything else from the last week.
I thought Composing was good in the Silver Flash. I know she was a short price, and hopefully she progresses a bit better than Bedtime Story did last year, having won that, but she's now 14-1 for the 1,000 guineas with Bet365 for next year. She's going to go the standard debutante, Moy-Glaire.
Yeah.
But she is progressed with each start. Did you kind of below expectation, I suppose, on debut? Nice run around in a maiden, wins a maiden, steps up to group class. I thought that was a really nice performance in that. And I quite like Time to Turn as well. I thought his win in the Pat Edery Stakes, obviously we know that it brings forward high-class individuals going forward, Rich.
Not going to mention
the likes of Rosalian.
I didn't mention it this time, so the guy on YouTube who's having a pop at me for mentioning that horse's name all the time.
Is there someone out there saying you're in love with Rosalian?
Yeah, he's just going to quit on that chat about the horse, so I'm not even going to mention it.
With a tagline of Steve Mellish.
Well, this will go well for our Goodwood preview a little bit later.
I know, it's going to be quite hard.
Sorry, I interrupted there.
It's just around Charlie
on
Appleby's
his love affair with Rosalian,
in the race. Like 5th win in 7 years for Charlie Appleby, so that's another race where next season you should just put a ring around the Charlie Appleby runners going forward.
And with Aidan O'Brien in that race that you've mentioned with Composer, that
I
was
think the 17th or something
15th,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Joseph O'Brien's horse looked quite nice. North Coast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maydall. That was in, I thought, a race where you can kind of see Joseph O'Brien maybe looking to the likes of the national stakes, and that way won it last year with Scorthy Champ. He's won it a couple of times now. I mean, they just share it all over there, don't they?
Indeed. It's a very simple game, just back the O'Briens. El Monjed, another one to mention. I think that race is going to work out. I'm sure it's going to work out, that dash at York. You think of the horses that finish around. I mean, I was still not losing hope that Poppington will win a good race. I think he just got tapped for a bit of toe. I'm thinking worth trying over 7. Try and convince Connections that will be the way.
I think you have to convince him as well.
But can we talk about Almarak? I think we're a potential superstar. It's hard. He's just won a handicap off 90 at Ayr last week, but he bolted up. And he's possibly in the Sprint Cup at Haydock, Stewards Cup. No, but the Ayr Gold Cup's also an option. So. He was second to Spy Chief at Yarmouth on his comeback run, but it was a comeback run.
Yeah.
And the form's not bad.
No.
He also gave weight to Spy Chief. How good do you think Almarak could be?
Very good. You watch those sprint handicaps, it just travelled well, quickened. Clifford Lee didn't care about the handicap mark, did he? Like you've seen all season the gap between the top handicappers and the group, even the Group 1s. It's well worth a go, going up in class.
Well, it looked for the Stewards Cup that William Haggis was going to be in a great position.
Yes.
I mentioned El Monjed, got there, in the dash. I thought that was a nice performance, deserved the win, really consistent and just doing enough. But whether he's going to come out of the race well enough for Goodwood, which we will get onto, obviously. But yeah, it's a shame that we probably won't see him at Goodwood. Although, what's the weather going to be doing?
Again, I'm not sure I agree with your weather forecaster. I'm hoping it's going to be drier than you seem
Listen,
to be
I hope
suggesting.
it's going to be dry too. Don't.
But I just wanted to mention the prices for the Sprint Cup at Haydock, which is the first weekend in September. Almarak is 16 to 1 with Bet365. Lazat's your 9-4 favourite. Shadow of Light 8, Notable Speed. I mean, there's a gap there. No half measures is 14 to 1.
I thought that was a big price. I was impressed with their July Cup win. Completely unexposed over 6 furlongs as well.
Very nice horse, no doubt about it. But Almarak, after 4 starts, he's got loads of potential. And clearly soft ground is going to suit him. You watch the way he's a big, strong, heavy-topped horse, digs into the ground. 16 to 1. If the ground comes up soft, 16 to 1, I think will just evaporate. Now, before we get into our Goodwood preview, just to let you know that our sponsor, Bet365, have a best odds guaranteed offer. It's available on every single UK and Irish race from 8 a.m. on the day of the race. If you take a price and the SP is bigger, Bet365 will pay you at the bigger odds, and full T's and C's can be found on the website. And so now we look ahead to what used to be known as Glorious Goodwood. It is now the Qatar Goodwood Festival. 5 great days of racing, potentially, on the Sussex Downs. We start on Tuesday with a couple of really good races. The Lennox Stakes, a horse who's got a terrific record in the race, Kinross, is heading the market for that now. I need to find that. We'll come back to that with the markets. But in the meantime, Rachel, if I start you off with Kinross as being the one to beat for you, given his record and the fact that he made such a good comeback? Yeah,
it was a good comeback, wasn't it, at Haydock? I think he's a horse who always needs it, and interesting hearing from Ross O'Ryan saying that for once he hopes it buckets down with rain. I'm not too sure that they're going to get that. He's definitely praying for a downpour. Listen, I love this race. I think Kinross has been an absolute legend of a horse, and who says that these good horses don't stick around forever. I think you can just follow them and look forward to seeing them out. I think Kinross has been that horse. The 3-year-olds, John Quill, back up in trip, or back, is he back? Sorry, he's back down in trip, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, he's been up and down, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm getting confused with where they're going. I don't think the trip he was over last time suited him, so it's a change in distance for him. But yeah, Kinross is a mighty horse. Yeah. He's getting on, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can he do it again? I mean, how many times can he win this race?
Well,
he's won it twice, hasn't he?
Yeah. He suggested that comeback run that he's as good as he was last season. 3 to 1 joint favourite. Kinross and John Quill with Bet365. Audience is 5s. Noble Champion, good in the jersey, 11-2. Lake Forest, 6-1. 10 Bob Tony, 12s, 14s, bar those. The one thing I thought about this race, I don't know if you both agree, it's likely to be quite a good pace here.
Yeah, Audience, cheap pieces on. You'd imagine they'll ride him forward. I'm just not quite sure he's running up to the same level as he did. Noble Champion, if he runs up to his rating with the allowance, is the one to beat here. But he's not a horse that I'd trust to string 2 good runs together, really. He kind of fries my brain a bit, going up, down in distance. Kind of, it's the same with Noble Champion than what they did with John Quill, going 7 furlongs.
Can you trust any of them in here, though?
You can trust Kinross, can't you? Form figures of 1, 2, 1, 3.
Fair enough.
At his career in Goodwood, all in this race.
Yeah.
I'm not someone that criticises jockeys, but Ross Orion last year had a bit of a shocker, gave too much rope to Audience, was staying on well at the finish, and ran much better than market expectations last time when second in the John O'Gaunt Stakes. Had a penalty that day as well, which he doesn't here. And I just thought he was rock solid and definitely the one to beat. And I know that he's better on soft, but it's not like he needs it soft to show his best either. I thought 3-1 was perfectly fair.
So you like Kinross?
Yeah.
I'll go with Noble Champion. Okay. I love Kinross, and I love to see these horses coming back, as I've said, each year. Yeah. And I love when they win. But Noble Champion, I think he seemed to handle the track well. He didn't win here in a conditions stakes earlier in the season. I think he's a different beast now, what we've seen at Ascot. So, yeah, I think he might be the value in the race for me.
Okay, I'm going with Lake Forest. I should look back to the run in Australia that he won, I think, 2.8 million for.
Only.
He beat Lazat. That was pretty good. He's obviously had a couple of runs this season where he's run well. And the last run, it came, I think it was 11 days after he'd run at Royal Ascot. And it looked like he just wasn't quite himself. But he's had a month since then. And the pace of the race is the thing that draws me into his chances. I think they'll go quite hard. There's Quinault, there's Audience. Al Yanavi made the running earlier on in the season. I expect there to be a decent pace. And I think he can finish strongly. He's 6-1, so that would be my selection. Also on the Tuesday of Glorious Goodwood, it's the Goodwood Cup, and Illinois is the 6-5 favourite with Bet365. Aidan O'Brien's other main contender. Scandinavia, 3-1. French Master, who's good at Royal Ascot, 5-1. Sweet William from the same stable as French Master, 10. Sunway 14s. Big prices down at the bottom. There's one that I'd like, Dubai Future. I can't believe he's 40-1 with Bet365. Anyway, we'll come back to that.
well, Rishi came in, he says, I'm going for a good few, I'm swinging this week. I've got loads of big prize selections. That is a massive prize. Why?
I don't know. Saeed Bin Suraj just said a Group 1 winner. His horse is actually in pretty good form. We'll come back to Dubai Future in a minute. Steve, who do you like?
I like Scandinavia. Gets a full stone from his elders and off of an official rating of 114 following his Bahrain Trophy win. He should win this on weight-adjusted figures, really. I think it's only £2 inferior to Illinois and gets a stone. So, French Master is a horse I like. I know you do, Rishi, as well, from earlier on in the season. Like, his win at Royal Ascot was good. He was slowly out the stalls. He stayed well. Is he a Group 1 performer? I'm not so sure. I would slightly worry around Illinois how hard that Gold Cup was. Chorleyman made it a real test. It's only 40 days since that. Scandinavia, yes, he obviously ran at Newmarket more recently, but he kind of got his own way, stretched clear, wasn't given an overly hard race. I think Ryan Moore has to ride Illinois in this, so I wouldn't think too much around the jockey bookings around this. Wayne Lorden, I think, will keep it relatively simple on Scandinavia, hopefully team tactics.
A lot of confidence in team tactics.
But I thought 3-1 was a big price around Scandinavia with all of those allowances.
Getting a stone from all his rivals.
He was mightily impressive at Newmarket, though.
Really impressive.
Wasn't he?
I just don't think he beat anything in the race, personally.
Well, I mean, there were some horses in there.
I don't want to be rude about any horse in the race, but I just thought it was a very weak Bahrain Trophy.
I think the manner of his victory. I mean, I know sometimes I think visually when you see a performance, you're like, wow, that was really good, even though you kind of look back and you think, right, well, there's nothing to take out of the race. Like you hear in racing all the time, don't you?
Yes.
I never get that sometimes. I think, look at your eyes. Illinois, I don't know. Has he been kind of moulded into a cup horse in the absence of good old Kyprios? I mean, Aidan O'Brien's won this 4 times. Is he a Yates? Is he a Kyprios? We'll find out. Maybe Scandinavia was like a little backup because that was a very, very tough race for Illinois. but he could be, good enough to win this and take that step forward. I don't know. I like Illinois, but then Scandinavia's. I'm really on the fence here. Can I be on the fence on this show?
Can we couple the O'Brien horses for race?
And French Master, you mentioned about not being a Group 1 horse. I think maybe yet. I don't know if this is all coming a little bit too soon. It's the same route that they used before, the Galstons. So he's up in trip, he's up in class. I think he's a very, very good horse. And their other one, Sweet William, Ascot was a bit too far, probably. Stradivarius won it as a 3-year-old. Scandinavia, maybe? Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, Stradivarius.
It's a great race.
Big orange that Stradivarius beat as a 3-year-old.
Oh, God. They were the days.
Aidan O'Brien ran, was it Santiago in this after winning the Irish Derby? There haven't been many 3-year-olds that have tried this that had a genuine chance of winning it. And
it's just a cracking race. I mean,
it is.
It's a very good race. But I can't believe Dubai Future. As I look at it now, he's 40-1 with Bet365 for the race. He had the best part of a year and a half, year and 3/4 off, came back, he won 2 races back-to-back at Meydan. So he came back, he won, and then he won on Dubai World Cup night. And at both times, he's won with ton in hand. He ran disappointingly in France, obviously, but that clearly wasn't he finished last. But he came out of that, and he went to Royal Ascot and finished 3rd behind Trawlerman and Illinois, and he was the last horse off the bridle over 2.5 miles. And I don't understand how he could be 40-1 in Illinois, who was only a few lengths in front of him.
A few lengths, how many?
Well, he's about 3 lengths in front of him, but he got there and then he was eased off when he wasn't going to get there. And he's 6-5 favourite. He's 40-1, and they're dropping back from 2.5 miles to 2 miles. And Christophe Soumillon is over to ride. Now I know he's got other rides on the card. He's riding 2 for Watnam, but I'm pretty certain it would have been Saeed making the call saying, can you come and ride my horse? That's brought him over.
This is a big case. I might actually have to bet now.
I'm surprised. I cannot believe he's 40-1. If Illinois wasn't in the race, I'd say he's the horse that they have to beat.
Don't be put off by a bigger price.
I'm not put off. Actually, I'm emboldened. Drift. I'm going again.
If I see you on Tuesday and this horse doesn't win, you haven't backed it.
I've already backed him.
Okay, good. Because it's one of these, such a big price, you've got all the reasons, and you think, I haven't backed it.
Well, I given the way the race is, I think, given how Scandinavia was ridden last time, I suspect that Scandinavia will go forward, make it at least, as long as it's a decent pace. Not many will be travelling as well as Dubai Future if he's on song. As I say, Said Bin Saror's horses are in good form. He had a Group 1 winner in Germany, so 40-1.
This certainly might be
and I should be waving goodbye to everyone as I leave the track.
New Rosalian, maybe?
I haven't mentioned that horse yet, but funny you say that, Rich, because we move on to the next feature race that we'll talk about, which is on the Wednesday of the meeting. And yes, I'm waiting for that prize to come through. But of course, it is the Sussex Stakes. Field of Gold is going to be a short prize to continue in the footsteps of his sire, Kingman, by winning this race. But the opposition remains interesting, and it's the first time he'll be taking on a talented older horse in aforementioned Rosalian.
This is a fascinating race, and you don't have to have a bet in every race, and I won't be having a bet in this. 3-year-olds have a good record in it, won 4 of the last 6 years. One horse I'd be against is Docklands, away from Ascot at this level. I thought he was a bit short. Obviously, they've supplemented Kirat for this as pacemaker for Field of Gold. Rosalian is always a horse that uses his turn of foot to win races, so it's going to be fascinating to see what they do tactically in this and how stronger of a pace they actually make it, because you'd argue that Field of Gold didn't handle the dip at Newmarket when he was beaten in the 2000 Guineas. So it's going to be interesting. If you go back and watch, obviously, Kingman, when they slowed it up on Toronado in the lead, it took Kingman a little time to get organised. And you'd slightly worried if they crawled here that it would happen again for Field of Gold. So Kirat, I assume, will go 7 furlong pace in order to stretch them out a bit. Henri Matisse is much better than he showed. I thought you could upgrade his second from Royal Ascot. Yeah. But yeah, fascinating race to watch. But would I want to be taking the 4-9 around Field of Gold? I wouldn't. I think I'd probably want the field running for me at that price.
Okay.
Rachel.
Yeah. He's been a great horse this season, hasn't he?
Terrific.
Like, absolutely exceptional all season. Yeah. He's short, very, very short for all those reasons. I still don't think like Henry Matisse, I thought he showed a brilliant burst of speed, but I mean, I can't see him reverse that form at all.
I think he'll get closer.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Different test for Field of Gold, though. Obviously, the round mile at Ascot and the Curragh. So I think that's going to be the exciting part of it, isn't it? The 3-year-olds against the best of the rest. It's, as you said, Steve, you don't have to have a bet in every race. For this one, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. I think Field of Gold, you kind of want these good horses to keep going. You mentioned the likes of Kingman, Frankel, Baid, Giants Causeway, all these wonderful horses that have managed to win the Sussex Stakes, and I kind of hope he does again. I'm not going to have a bet in the race though, but I think Field of Gold is the one.
He is obviously the horse to beat, and again, I'll take a similar view as Stephen and Rachel. Don't have to have a bet, but my heart is with Rosalian. So
he's 9-2.
Rosalian.
Yeah.
He's
what are the odds? 1-2.
Well, exactly. He's not going to be far away, and Field of Gold will have to be at his best to see them all off.
Yeah.
Was Rosalian unlucky, do you think, last time?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he followed. If you watch the race again, Sean Levy's following Carl Spackler, and Carl Spackler takes him just that far, not far enough. If Carl Spackler had kept, I think Carl Spackler would run all right. He actually ran quite well considering it was his first run here. Thought he could run okay. But he came there and Carl Spackler fell away, and then he was a bit detached from, and he finished off the race really well. So I think it was a step forward certainly from the Lock-Inch. So hopefully another step forward.
Yeah, it'd be nice because, you know, all these great 3-year-olds, you want to see them excel as 4, but also, test it. But also, you know, the most disappointing thing I think in racing is when you get so excited about a 3-year-old, then you're delighted they're coming back at 4, and then maybe they don't kind of scale the same height. So I hope he runs a good race. Rosalian,
He will run a good race. There's no hoping needed. On Thursday, it's the Gordon Stakes for the 3-year-olds. And Merchant is the 11-8 favourite with Bet365. Galveston's 5-1. Rahib, who is behind Merchant at York, he's 5-1. Sir Dinadan 6s, along with Wimbledon Hawkeye, Windlord. Nighttime Dancer is 14-1. And Too Soon's the outside, it's 50s. Rach, do you think Merchant deserves to be 11-8, and is he going to win?
Yeah, I do. I think he's a very, very strong favourite. He won the King George V Stakes at Ascot so nicely. I think he should take the step up in class. 3 wins from the last 4 starts for William Haggis. I love the way he brings his horses forward, and I think he's got so much more. He's a really progressive type. I'm sorry I haven't come out swinging with any big price for our viewers, but yeah, I think he's solid. I think he's the one to beat.
Don't worry. When Dubai Future finishes way out the back, people will be going, what was he talking about? I must admit, I thought Rahib is the value. I mean, because of the weights turnaround from the York run, as much as anything else.
I agree. Yeah, I thought I'd want to back him each way as opposed to Merchant to win, to be honest. Model of consistency, form figures in his career of 1, 2, 2, 2, 3.
Yeah, honest.
But has progressed with all of those. That second was his handicap debut behind Merchant, trying to give £8. The form's been boosted. The third, Many Men, has won twice since, including at Ascot on Friday, where Merchant obviously went the handicap route at Royal Ascot. Rahib went for the Queen's Vase. I think you could probably upgrade that run as well. Was slightly unlucky at the finish. I know Further was disappointed in the Bahrain Trophy since then, but Scandinavia, who finished behind, has obviously boosted that form since. Shackleton, I think, finished 4th and then finished 2nd in the Curragh Cup behind Al Riffa. So the form of that Queen's Vase has worked out well. He meets Merchant now off level weight as opposed to trying to give him £8 that he did earlier on in the season. I just thought he was a rock solid each way bet at 5-1. I'd prefer to do that than back Merchant to win, to be honest. Yeah,
I'm the same. I'd take Merchant on, with Rahib, who's £8 better off for that run at York. But it's the potential that Merchant has. He's got loads more to come, you think. Yeah. But he's going to need
And I think from the yard he's with as well, William Haggis, he just, once they start improving, I just think they keep going. So yeah. I'm going to go with the short price favourite. Boring. But,
well, let's see where you go in the Nassau, which certainly looks very interesting because Whirl, whose form was franked recently, she's the 6-4 favourite just with Bet365 ahead of See the Fire, who's 13-8. Bedtime Story, 6-1, along with Sasane, Fallen Angels, 12s, Running Lion, and Dare to Dream, big prices. How do you see this one?
I was asked to preview this race for oddschecker a couple of weeks ago, I put up Whirl at 2 to 1.
Okay.
I would be surprised if she doesn't go odds on and win this. I'm still quite surprised that she's available at 6 to 4, if I'm being completely honest. I think she's a much better horse than See the Fire and gets the weight allowance. It's cut slightly, obviously, with entries and everything. Cinderella's Dream came out, which is why she's shortened slightly, and obviously Kalpana boosted that form. But if you look at the trends for this, 8 of the previous 12 winners were age 3, which gives her the advantage over See the Fire. 12 have already won a Group 1, that gives her the advantage over it. 7 of the previous 12 winners were last time out winners, which also gives Whirl an advantage over it. So the recent trends point you towards Whirl rather than See the Fire, and they're a similar sort of price. I just thought all of the form of Whirl with Kalpana, with Mini Hawk, just keeps getting boosted, and yeah, I'd be shocked if she doesn't win.
I suppose people point to the fact that See the Fire was behind a couple of very good horses in Ombudsman and Anmarta at Royal Ascot.
Yeah, and I think when we talk about See the Fire, we always go back to that a magnificent run at York, and if she was to ever reproduce that, then you'd be thinking that she could have a great chance. Obviously, Goodwood, very, very different track. I love Whirl, I'm afraid. I just think that she just didn't stay as well as Mini Hawk, and she's just getting better and better. And I love the fact that she can be ridden anyway. Yeah. I mean, Ryan can put her in any situation. I thought she was a cracking winner of the Musadora. And yeah, I mean, some of the others are seen. I'd love to see her run well for is she still in there? She's still in there.
Yeah, that's the plan.
The Coronation Stakes winner. I thought that was a great story, wasn't it, for Joseph Murphy? And I think what we're seeing this year with Goodwood, even talking about Docklands and Harry Eustace, they're giving it a go. And Joseph Murphy, he'd be very hopeful that Cecine will be good enough. Whether she will be, I'm not sure. Good race for the 3-year-olds, isn't it? Yeah. And Whirl.
That'll be
they get £9, and she's only rated £2 inferior to See the Fire, and arguably I think her form is stronger.
I also think the way the race will be run will be similar to last year when Opera Singer beat See the Fire. I expect Ryan to go forward on Whirl, ride a similar race, but I expect her to beat See the Fire more convincingly than Opera Singer did holding on. And even if she does come to her, you'd back Whirl, given the way she's performed in the Oaks. She didn't lay down against Mini Hawk, and obviously when Kalpana came there, Kalpana was swinging off the bridle and she saw her off. So I think she could do it again.
Are we all in Whirl?
That's the podcast now. Hopefully it goes better than Rashabar when he finished second. Is the podcast now.
Gosh. Oh, Rashabar at Newbury got done.
1.2 and running.
Ouch, that really hurt.
At least you're over it.
No, not at all. I'll be honest, I'm not over it. That ruined that Saturday.
It was like the opening race as well, wasn't it?
Yes, it set me off in a bad way that day. Where are we going next? The big sprint of the week, certainly pattern-wise, is the King George Qatar Stakes on Friday. Asfura is 7 to 4 favourite for the Aussies. Big Mojo 5 to 1. Time for Sandals is 6 to 1. Frost at Dawn 13 to 2. She's Quality 8 to 1. Night Raider 10. 16 to 1. Cardam 20s. Bar those. Of course, this is all these prices with Bet365. Get It is in the King George and in the Stewards Cup. Connections waiting for the ground. 20 to 1 for the King George before deciding what race to go for. Asfura, Henry Dwyer talking about how confident he is about her chance in this race, even though York is the big target. He says he'd be disappointed if she doesn't win. Yeah,
I thought headgear going on for Royal Ascot was a negative in the build-up for that, and I'd still probably class it as a negative in this, to be honest. I thought Cardam was a massive price.
Yeah.
They've stumped up 20 grand to supplement him for this. Ryan Moore already booked as well. Notable booking as well. Ryan Moore has ridden him twice in his career out of 39 starts. One of those was when he won this race in 2022. This is a year where the sprinters are all beating each other. Yeah. Cardam last season finished 13th of 14 on his reappearance and then won at Royal Ascot on his second start. That was a race that he'd have been bidding for a hat-trick in if they ran this year. So he obviously was behind coming back in this year, may have had a setback, might have just not been showing what they wanted to at home. But I thought ran much better on his reappearance this year, finished 6th behind Ranger Bambi in the Hackwood Stakes. And yeah, I thought 16 to 1 for a previous winner at Goodwood that they've stumped up to supplement, that they've booked Ryan Moore for in a year where sprinters are all beating each other. I thought 16 to 1 was a massive price.
It's a bit of a swing. right? You happy with that?
Yeah, that's definitely a bit of a swing. These races, though, I mean, I find them very, very tough. As you said, unless you're like a Batash or something, they're all taking their turns in winning. I mean, they're pretty confident, I should say, the Aussie camp, aren't they? 85% fit, but will be, you know, disappointed if she doesn't win. I mean, 85% fit. Like, I mean, what sort of sprinters do they think we have over here? I say that in jest, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, you sound surprised that the Aussies are cocky about sport.
Cricket, all the rest. Yeah, I don't know. This is very hard. There's a couple in there. She's Quality is very fast.
Yep.
JM Jungle, probably not like top notch in terms of. There's about 50 horses still in here, right? How many are we looking at?
Well, we're thinning it out now. We're down to 12, 18. We've got.
Oh, okay, right. Well, I've.
So we got obviously as for a big mojo time for some Frosted, JM Jungle's in there. I mean, there's some good horses down, speedy horses, but you can't. I mean, I can't see Clarendon.
Okay, it was a couple of days when I looked at this race. So I do apologise. I thought, goodness, I can't make up my mind on this yet. The likes of JM Jungle, though, I think at a price.
25s?
Yeah, I'll have that. That's a swing, isn't it? Time for
definitely.
Sandals could run a big race.
Yeah.
Which would be nice. I'm going to end up naming the whole field now. But as for
okay.
I'd be passing. Too short.
Too short.
And not Batash. They think
Definitely
she might be, though.
Not good, very good mare, but not Batash.
And great that we have the international, you know, angle on the race.
Yeah.
And I am just kidding a little bit about, you know, maybe just
Aussie
joking about
cockiness.
poor old Henry Dwyer and his team.
There's nothing I'm kidding about. They are part of the reason why you admire the Aussies.
It's like Wesley Ward coming over from America for Royal Ascot.
Yeah. Well, Wesley Ward's always bringing 4-year-olds over and running them.
Best horse ever, the quickest in the world.
I mean, I'll come back. That's not. Frosted Dawn, I'm going to stick with her. I've been a big fan of this horse for a long time. Brilliant in Maidan 2 seasons back. Last year didn't quite go to plan, but back on song this season. She's run a series of good races. Very good second in the King Charles. The third at Royal Ascot behind American Affair. Another fine effort this season. I think she's likely to be forward in this race, and I quite like horses that are forward in this race.
You need a proper 5 furlong horse for Goodwood in this race, don't you?
Yeah, and so I'd prefer to take a chance with her at 13-2. She deserves a big win. She's been so good, so she'd be my selection in that. Then we look at a couple of handicaps, shall we? And good luck finding the winners of these, because if you do, you're doing all right. But I think we might be agreeing on one of them. Let's go to the Golden Mile, Rach.
I don't know if this is a good thing, you and I agreeing, or Steve for that matter, because sometimes when we're all together, we've all this hope and the dream.
Okay.
Arasag, are you with the Charlie Johnson?
100%
Okay,
Arasag,
all right, cool. I thought did really well to run as well at Sandown from the start and everything else. Classic, who didn't win at Ascot, boosted the form.
Yep.
Course and distance winner. Loved the way this horse travelled around Goodwood. He'll have his ground. I think he's a big price.
Well, everything you've said about her is spot. In fact, almost what I've written here. She's 12-1. Greek Order is the favourite, 7-1. And you point out the run at Sandown last time. She flew past Greek Order. Yet Greek Order is the favourite for this race, and she's 12-1. And she would probably have beaten him by further had she got clearer sailing sooner. Just quickly mention a few others in the market. Skakusa 8-1 along with Urban Lion. Treasure Time 10s, Arasag 12s, Fifth Column 12s, Native Warrior 12s. I mean, Godwin's son, we were talking about him before we started the show. Not sure what race he's going to run, and he's 14-1. Do you see the case for Arasag, or are you looking elsewhere?
I do. I love course form at Goodwood. I think this is a race that you need to wait for decks and the draw, because you do really need to be drawn low generally in the Golden Mile, kind of single figure draw there. Skakusa, I assume, isn't running, would be £8 well in if he was running, but Ryan Moore, the fact that he's chosen to ride Greek Order by the looks of jockey bookings rather than Skakusa, who he's won twice at on Leopardstown, would kind of infer that he's not going to run. Charlie Johnston has a good record in this race, and also has Dutch Decoy and Mahaba Gaeth, who would both be well in at the weights there, about 25s and 33s, I think, but might not get in, dependent on the full field. But the one that I thought was overpriced would be Godwin's son. I know he is a shorter price for the conditions race on the same day, but I was just a bit baffled at the fact that he's kind of 14-1 for this, for a horse who is 2 from 2 this season and won the Lincoln by a nose off 94, off 89 days, won at Newcastle by 3/4 of a length off a mark at 99, given another nice 36-day break, up another £5, but I thought 14-1 was a big price. For a horse who's 1 from 1 at Goodwood, 2 from 2 so far this season, and has Tom Marquand booked for William Haggas, I thought 14-1 was a big price. But the fact that he is a shorter price for the conditions race, which looks a winnable contest in a couple of races' time, would mean that I wouldn't back him anti-post, but...
Wait till he turns up.
Yeah.
And then you fancy him.
Because in a race like that, yes, you might be getting 8-9-1 rather than 14s, but I'd prefer to play it that way.
Yeah, I can see, definitely. He's a horse that's had a very good season and will certainly have a part to play if he lines up. But I'm all over Araseg as well. Jamie Spencer, who won on her last year at Glorious Goodwood, which won the Fillies handicap. He's been booked on her for a while, I think. Should have won that listed race at Goodwood. I think she'd have beaten Crimson Advocate that day with a clear run. We've seen what Crimson Advocate's done this season. I think she'd have finished a lot closer to Classic at Sandown had she got clearer sailing. And of course, her course and distance form, or her course form, is very good. So, and Jamie Spencer, when it gets messy, and you need a bit of luck in running, quite often he can find it. This is his specialty.
Yeah, always finds a way in these situations.
Yeah, he got me excited on Saturday. I backed Hickory at Ascot, and he was still on the bridle about a furlong out. I was like, "Come on, Jamie!" And we ended up finishing third.
Oh dear.
So yeah, Araseg then, all over her.
Okay, the Stewards Cup on Saturday. Now that I've said that, William Haggas said he's not running. We don't know about El Monjed.
No.
Not sure, but how do you see this? You swinging?
I never swing in this race. I've never backed the winner of this race. I've never actually backed the winner of the Grand National either. But,
wow.
This is just one I can never get a good handle on the Stewards Cup. Hammer the Hammer, still in the race?
For some reason, there are no prices available to me.
We'll get entries, because entries will be through in about 2 hours' time.
Yes.
Okay. If I was to go with something, I'd go with Hammer the Hammer for Kevin Ryan. Like the way he finished his race at Ascot. And I just kind of like his profile, like him as a horse. I find this race impossible, so I can't be like saying, listen, I really fancy this, because I don't. I'd never, ever, ever win in Stewards. I'll always have a bet in it, though. I'll pick a couple. Draw, we talk about the draw every time.
Of course.
We talk about, see how the week progresses, and then obviously it's a good race to look forward to on Saturday.
If El Monjed did go for the race, I imagine that he'd be quite well supported, because it would suit him. They'll go a strong pace, wherever he's drawn, he can just have that lovely toe through. Whether he would quite get the job done, I'm not sure. Sorry for using that cliche, but he looked like he was going to win comfortably on Saturday, and then he just hung on. And even Jim Crowley said afterwards, I felt I was going to win a length, and in the end I've only won.
He's just doing enough, wasn't he?
Which I quite like about him.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So he would definitely be a play if he runs in the race, but not sure whether that's the plan.
Definitely
do we have any other horses for the week ahead? Because there's obviously Galway on. If there's anything else that you want to throw in, saving your best bet for later, unless you want to give a tease of it now.
I think Vicar Street might be a horse at Galway for Willie Mullins. Won at Roscommon, actually, last time out.
Lovely track, Roscommon.
Yeah, thank you, Rishi. You've learned the drill well. That's one I will be keeping an eye on for Tuesday, but not time for my best bet yet, right?
Unless you want to tease it.
I mean, there's not a lot to tease, but go on.
Why don't we hold back on your best bet till
take
later
a pull.
on? Okay, so one extra for Galway. What else have you've probably got?
I've got quite a lot from Goodwood.
Okay, go.
Settle in. Tuesday, in the Vintage Stakes, I like Garma Sutra for Richard Hannon. Currently a massive price, 22-1. Now, obviously, Dorset heads the market. You've got lots of horses that are coming into this showing previous group form. I just like the fact Richard Hannon Senior won this race 4 years in a row between 2010 and 2013. Richard Hannon Junior won it 2 years ago with Hartem. The Garma Sutra is a son of Gayeth. Most of that offspring need their first run, but he won a Foss Last Maiden. Now, it didn't look too good at the time, pulled 1.5 lengths clear, but then the second was more experienced, and they pulled 6 lengths clear of the third. I looked at the RPR for that, was given 84 for that debut win. And to put that into context, Humidity and Zavatiri, who both won on their debuts, had a lower RPR after their debuts. Obviously, they've both boosted their own form since in group company and listed company, but I just thought 22 to 1 for Gama Sutra for a stable that have a good record in the vintage stakes, I thought was a big price. Another one on the Tuesday in the 5 furlong handicap, the 345, is Rosario at 22 to 1. Now, I'm less keen since I've seen the draw, but won over the course and distance in May off a mark of 94, was then behind a Ram at Newbury, and then is disappointed in the next couple of starts. But I looked back, and you can actually forgive those 3 runs. In 2 of those, he lost 2 shoes in those, and then last time they struggled to get the blind off out of the gate. So I'd completely discount all 3 of those runs, and is now back down to a mark of 93 over a course and distance that he won off 3 starts ago, and is a big price, 22 to 1 for that.
I'm just going to be regurgitating some of these things on.
You'd never do something like that.
100%.
Because if you look at the form figures, you'd go, as one is now off too high of a mark. But actually, to lose 2 shoes in 2 races in a row, and then for the blindfold not to come off, I thought 22 to 1 was a big price. The only concern is, drawn low, all the pace is high and all the fancied runners are high. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's the first time they're running this 5 furlong handicap, because there's no previous winners through time form. So whether they split in the big field, I've gone through the stats of the King George, which is often obviously a smaller field. Batash generally was a short price favourite for it. They do sometimes go down the middle. They do sometimes go all over the track. So we'll kind of see how it goes in that. But yeah, Rosario's drawn 1. So hopefully makes a beeline to one of the sides, and we're on the right side there. On Wednesday in the Molecombe, I like Lady Iman. I was at Race TV Studio when she finished 2nd last time to Beautify over 6 furlongs. I just think she's a 5 furlong filly that booked Ryan Moore for the ride. I thought she can be the first filly since Trillium in 2022 to win that race. One at a big price on the Wednesday's Power of Destiny. Just check now, the market updated after Dex is 16 to 1, purely for Rafe Beckett. Now, Rafe Beckett has struggled in the last month or so, I think, for form, really. They're running a little bit better now. But his record in the race is brilliant. He's won it 3 times in the past 6 years, twice with 4-year-olds. And it's a race that 3-year-olds have a good record in. So the fact that he's running Power of Destiny here as an older horse caught my eye. Has raced once at Goodwood in her career, and that was a head second off 87, and runs off 90 here. So I thought at a price of 16 to 1, she was a big price.
Another ex of Michael Stout.
Yeah, we like that angle as well, don't we, Rish? Well, some of us like it. Some of us have head in hands. The 120 on Thursday is the Marlin 2 3-year-old only handicap. Noble Horizon is a horse that I've kept an eye on all the time this season. I was at Newmarket this season when was 2nd behind I Am I Said.
Yes.
For Rafe Beckett. Was sent off 8 to 15 that day and finished 2nd, but justified a short price last time at Leicester, was entitled to win that. But if you look back, finished 2nd behind Rogue Millions and I Am I Said, and I'm sure he's better than 87 on his handicap debut. Is incredibly well bred. Is Kingman out of the Irish Oaks winner Great Heavens, who's a sister to Nathaniel, so incredibly well bred. I thought he'd be better than a mark of 87. And then just one more is in the 120 on Friday is Align the Stars. Hopefully Charlie Johnston's had a winner of Arisaig earlier on in the week. It's currently 7 to 1, though. He won at the meeting last year of a mark of 99. That led to them running in the Lonsdale Cup. The kind of season petered out and hasn't really shown a lot this year. Yeah. But Johnston at Goodwood, I'm sure this race would have been the target, has dropped back down to a mark of 98, so £1 lower than he won at the meeting last year, and is currently 7 to 1. So I thought that's one that you could probably look at thinking this has been the target all season.
Gosh, good work. It was a case of sit back, wasn't it?
100%.
Yeah, I like
Absolutely.
it.
Well thought out.
Yeah, really good.
Really good, interesting
Now
selections.
let's hope they win.
And I'm going to be repeating most of them during the week. I must admit, though, in the vintage, the couple of others I was going to mention, I was keen on Do or Do Not going up to 7 furlongs. Just watching his runs back, I mean, it's obvious, the Coventry, and last time out behind Zabatiri, he's at the back of the field and he's worked really hard, but at the end he's finishing his race really strongly. Clearly the way he races, and actually look at his pedigree, stepping up in trip will suit him. So I liked him, and he was in the Charlie Appleby race, as we call it now, the Pat Edery. Yeah. But he was in that race and he didn't go for it. I think this is a better option for him. And the other horse I wanted to mention, I don't know what price she's going to be, but there's a listed race at Galway on Thursday for fillies. But Fiery Lucy who I think she's a horse I like, trained by Gavin Cromwell. She ran really well in the Breeders' Cup last year when she was 4th to Lake Victoria. And last time out, with cut in the ground, which I'm not sure would have been entirely her thing, most of her best forms have come on decent ground. She was 2nd to Red Letter, just outstayed. That was over a mile. She's dropping back to 7 furlongs. I've looked through the race. There's nothing in there that I'd be concerned about because I don't know what's going to be declared just yet. And I thought she represented one of the best bets of the week, certainly at Galway. So those are a couple extra to add. And you mentioned the 1 1/4 race with 3-year-olds. It's on Friday. Rogue Impact, Noble Horizons race.
Yeah, the King Sem handicap, apparently.
Yeah.
120 on Thursday.
Rogue Impact, who ran in the Derby and last time got beaten at Thirsk over a 1.5 miles. Coming back to a 1 1/4, I'm hoping really.
Whose idea was that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to take any credit for it just yet. But if it goes wrong, it's not my fault. But we shall see. Hopefully, coming back in trip will suit him. Doing all the data for the race afterwards of the run way behind top team at Thirsk, it appears that he might have a bit more speed than first thought, or at least that's what I think. But those are the numbers tell us anyway, so we're going to hopefully give that a go.
Crossed.
Hopefully he'll run all right. So that's a look at what's coming up at Goodwood and indeed at Galway. We will very shortly have our best bets of the week. But before we get into our best bets, just to let you know of a free-to-play 6 horses challenge. It's available every weekend with free spins on offer if you get 2 or 3 selections correct. Prize pools available for 5 and 4 correct predictions, as well as a jackpot for all 6. T's and C's apply. So it's time for our best bets of the week. Steve, Rachel, you ready? Rachel, as the guest, you get to go first. So.
Well, I feel like he's not going to be tipping mine anyway. I'm going with Galway. I know they talk about the quality of Goodwood and Galway. It's more crack over quality. But listen, there's some great horses at Galway, and it is crack over quality. There's no getting away from it. But it's a terrific meeting, and there are horses that turn up year on year at Galway, and you think, have a good run again. And one of them is Jesse Evans for Noel Mead. I reckon is in better shape than last year coming into it. 9-year-old, he's getting on a little, but he's just gone so close before in the Galway hurdle a few times actually. And I was very strong on Jesse Evans running and winning the Galway hurdle. And then Noel Mead comes out and says, we're not sure whether we'll go with the plate or the hurdle with him. He's won his last 2 starts over hurdles, Ballinrobe, Tipperary. He had a little, a little trip over to the UK in between. They're still thinking whether it's the hurdle or the plate, but I just feel this horse is going to have a winner at the Galway Festival. And Jesse Evans, whatever race he turns up in, I'm having it.
Okay.
Plate or the hurdle, prices, they've got to be big.
Well, 10 to 1 for the hurdle. I can't access the plate at the moment, but I think when we spoke about
20s,
25s,
maybe.
Was it?
Go higher.
Yeah.
25 to 1 maybe.
At 10 to 1 for the Galway hurdle with Bet365 at the moment.
I mean, he might run into a well-handicapped horse if he was to go in the hurdle, but that's it. Yeah. And Noel Mead, I think he's had a great season. Yeah. And always does very, very well at Galway. Have you guys been to Galway?
I had my stag do at Galway.
Oh, gosh, you've really experienced it then.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll show you a picture afterwards. So I was dressed
I'm sorry, but they all want to see the picture.
I was dressed like the money supermarket guy. So all I was told was to pack a suit. So I was there in shirt, tie, jacket, and then they'd got me some short jean shorts and high heels. So yeah, I was
short jean shorts. They're hot pants.
Yeah,
no?
pretty much hot pants and heels. So then, you'd look at my top half and think I was completely normal, and then you'd see people walking around Galway going, "What is going on? You must be on a stag do."
Remember anything about it other than how you were dressed?
I remember having to run for the train in order to get there.
Wow.
So
running
in hot pants and high heels was yeah.
Now you know how difficult
they all do that at Galway.
Okay, so Rachel's going for Jesse Evans in whatever race Jesse Evans turns up in, the hurdle or the plate. Steve?
Just quickly though, I did see Capri win the maiden that day. He obviously went on to win the Ledger. Yeah. And Rekindling finished second in that maiden
Wow.
who went on to win the Melbourne Cup. So
good
Galway's
horses,
great.
yeah. Dermot Weld sends some very nice horses to Galway.
Used to be Dermot Weld.
Yeah,
Fest.
Yeah.
Well, and could be as well. We've got a few in there. It's a good. There are good horses, but it is all about the fun.
Yeah. So we picked the right day to go anyway.
Yeah.
My best bet, I really like Whirl. I'd be disappointed if she doesn't win, but 6-4, probably a bit short for a best bet. I like Cardem in the King George, supplemented for 20 grand. Won the race previously under Ryan Moore in 2022. Always needs a comeback run. I thought ran much better than was expected in the Hackwood last time. Returned to Goodwood. Ryan Moore booked, supplemented for 20 grand. 16-1. I thought was a massive price in the King George.
Okay, Cardem then. And I'm going for a horse that we mentioned earlier in the show, and that is Araseg in the Golden Mile. I know it's a big field and it's going to be, you'll need a bit of luck in running. But Araseg has got a terrific record at Goodwood. She won at the meeting last year, the Fillies Handicap, under Jamie Spencer. He's been booked to ride her again. She was a bit unlucky when she was behind Crimson Advocate in the listed race with Fillies at the May meeting. With a clearer run, she could have well won that. Last time out at Sandown, she was second to Classic. She got caught in a trap, didn't get out soon enough, yet she beat Greek Order, who's at the top of the market for the race, convincingly. And I think with a cleaner run, she'd have beaten Greek Order by further. I don't see how she's not going to be involved. With luck in running, I see Araseg, who's around 12-1, I think, with Bet365 for the Golden Mile on Friday at Goodwood. She's going to be involved, and I'm sure Jamie Spencer will get the luck. That's all we need. A little bit of luck for Araseg, and I think she might win it. Okay, it was a toss-up between her and Fiery Lucy. I thought Fiery Lucy was a good thing as well at Galway. That's it. Rachel, you're going to be down at Goodwood all week.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be lovely. Hopefully the weather will play ball.
I hope so.
I hope my forecast
is absolutely wrong.
I hope this is completely wrong and yours is right.
Have you updated your phone? Is it one of those software updates?
No, the phone's all right. It's just the weather's not looking great. I think there might be some showers around, but it's just a... I will say that with Goodwood, we talk about the weather a lot about Goodwood, because when it's sunny, it's the best place in the world. When it's wet, it can be pretty...
I think that's part of the reason why it's possibly my favourite race course. Possibly because it's like a family member. The only people who can really upset you the most are people you really care about, like your family. But also they're the people that make you the happiest.
I'm sorry, where's this going?
Goodwood, because it can really be horrid.
Okay, yes.
Or it can actually be amazing.
So I've been to 2 Sussex Stakes. I went to watch Frankel beat Canford Cliffs, and I also went the year when Here Comes When beat Ribchester, when it chucked it down all day. So I've experienced it both.
That was one of the worst days on.
And not just when you're there, on TV as well. From you've got all that. Is it the mist or sea, whatever comes in? Sea fret. Yeah, I think it is. Could that possibly be sea fret? It is, and the visibility is terrible and stuff. Listen, it's all going to be beautiful blue skies and sunshine. You just wait. You just wait.
Mine says that, absolutely. You going to play a bit of golf while you're down there?
No.
No, what?
No. We've no time for golf.
Well, racing finishes at 5:30.
I know.
I've already done the prep for you as well for every race.
All right, Steve. I might pop the clubs in the boot then.
Right, I'll see you later.
Do you golf while you're down there?
No,
then?
of course not.
No,
What?
see why he's asking me.
Of course I do. Of course we do. Got to find a bit of time for
All right, okay.
Yeah, we'll do a bit of golf then. And Steve,
will we see you as well?
No, well, you're all at Goodwood. I'm at Epsom on Thursday evening, and I'm at Newmarket with Tom Jones on Friday night.
It'll be good racing.
So make sure you still tune in to Racing TV.
I didn't know Tom Jones started working for Racing TV.
Yeah. Nick Lightfoot's on the stage and Tom Jones is next to with me with the microphone.
That would be something.
Fun.
Maybe Nick Lightfoot does that. Can he sing, Lighters?
Don't know.
He loves Elvis.
I'll ask him on Friday.
Does he really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, keep that in mind. All right. That's it. Really enjoyed that show. Hopefully there's some winners along the way. Have a great week at Goodwood. Have a great week watching Goodwood. And you're going to go to Goodwood at all, or are you just going to go enjoy Epsom and Newmarket?
And Tom Jones.
And Tom Jones and Nick Lightfoot, a.k.a. Elvis. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Racing Weekly, brought to you by oddschecker in association with Bet365. Many thanks to Rachel, Casey and to Steve Ryder for joining me on this show. We're going to take a little break, bask in the glory of our Goodwood success, but we'll be back to look ahead to the Ebor meeting at York. Steve, myself and Steve Mellish will be joining us for that. But for now, from the Racing Weekly team, bye-bye.